Ever thought about taking a road trip across America? I forever have been thinking about it, and I finally did it. Welcome to the Never Ending Weekend. Well, we finally did it. We recently took a long, epic road trip across America, something we've been planning for a long time. It took us 30 days, 166 hours of driving, and 12,600 kilometers, which is a little bit more than 7,800 miles. We saw so many amazing things and met so many wonderful people along the way. I always imagined we'd do it earlier in a trailer, but my kids grew up and we eventually just did it in the expedition. It was a fantastic way to see the country, but I'm not really a long drive kind of a guy. On the way back, crossing over the border from the United States to Canada near the end of the trip, after we told the border agent we were driving for 30 days, he was kind of taken aback and asked us how it was. And me and my wife answered at the exact same time. She said amazing, and I said tiring. We visited so many great places along the way, so many places that I've always wanted to visit. We basically took a beeline diagonally from Toronto to San Diego, and then we're thinking of coming back across Texas and then going up the Atlantic side, but people along the way really suggested that we go north and then across, so that's what we did, and it was beautiful. I have a lot of other video ideas from this trip. I'm planning to make one that compares American to Canadian drivers, and another one with some tips on how to stay awake during long drives. I fall asleep so easily on really long drives, so if you're the same as me, hopefully it'll be useful to you. I know I'm optimistic, but it looks like spring has sprung. It's probably still a little early to call that, but I'm going to ramp up the cadence of videos. If you're new to my videos, check out my channel to see what I'm all about. If you like what you see, think about subscribing. I'm trying to hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, so if you could help me, that'd be great. As soon as the weather does turn for the better, I have another great video planned, a car review on what's arguably the best driver's car of this generation. So stay tuned for that, it should be a good one. But back to the video at hand. It's not your typical travel blog. I didn't want to create content and kind of disrupt all the great things that we're seeing, so I didn't shoot a lot of video. So it's really more of a POV of our actual drive with a bit of the things that we saw sprinkled in. So buckle up and enjoy the ride. Before I start, I just want everyone to know that if you're going to visit more than a few national parks, that you should get an America is Beautiful pass. It saves you a lot of money. Now back to the drive. There's a little bit of rain here, but most of the trip, I'd say 90% of it was good weather. Beautiful skies. We passed through Chicago and then through Iowa and Nebraska. Omaha was our first stop. Saw a lot of interesting things on the road. But it didn't really get exciting until we got into Colorado. This guy with the monkey bars. I haven't really seen that before in real life. And that guy's having way too much fun. Some interesting off-roaders too on the way to Colorado Springs. I guess that makes sense with the Rockies being so close by. Garden of the Gods was beautiful and an easy walk. Highly recommend it. Went back through Denver again and then through the Rockies. Saw some beautiful scenery. It's one of the nicest drives going through there. Didn't see a lot of bad weather, some looming clouds, but overall we had pretty good weather. Once we got into Utah, the landscape completely changed into this red rock sandstone formations. Now this is something we don't have in Canada, these really high highway speeds, so that was good. And I was determined not to get any speeding tickets on this trip. Moab was interesting. I have another video on my channel if you wanted to check that out. The Mecca of off-road. And then there are two parks right close to Moab. Canyonlands and Arches. And both very highly recommended to go check out. A lot of easy to moderate trails and incredible views. Wow, that's crazy. The sandstone gets this interesting red hue because of the iron ore in there. I guess if you're gonna do one hike, the one to Delicate Arch is a good one. Look, it says water is life. He kills. Don't this be you? You guys bring water if you want water.
I need my key.
Moderate in difficulty, but the views are great and this iconic arch at the end.
Nothing, no culture. Just like
Found this interesting place called Hole in the Rock. Hey guys, check that out. It was kind of a tourist attraction.
Oh, look at that Jeep up there. This year, Beat the Rush at Spanish Valley Clinic, your one-stop solution for back-to-school health needs. Don't procrastinate.
I guess this is the kind of thing that makes road trips fun. Just finding these oddball kind of weird things. That little house was made into the rock and they had a petting zoo and some souvenirs and stuff. Zoo. Interesting things like this Jeep sculpture. That's pretty cool. This took a long time to make this thing. Found this really interesting Valley of the Gods road off the main highway and just playing with the drone a little bit. I'm taking video again. What the heck?
so where
Wow, crazy, eh?
speed limit's 45.
I heard you. And then made our way through Monument Valley, which is famous probably most recently through that movie Forrest Gump, but historically through all those old westerns. Here we saw some incredible mesas, which I've never seen in real life before. And it's incredible to think of that this was entirely the bed of a big lake at one point. We slowly made our way to Page, Arizona. Podcast is one of those great road trip inventions. Helps you keep awake. In and around Page, the great Colorado River runs through and you get the beginnings of the Grand Canyon. Antelope Canyon was another place we really wanted to visit, and that was incredible. Another high recommendation there. Coming out of this little valley between the rocks and then having this giant expanse next to you was kind of almost dizzying. Here you can see the layers of sandstone. And then once we started getting into Grand Canyon Village, the greenery kind of was a good reprieve from all the sandstone. The Grand Canyon is overwhelming in scale. It's just massive. I had an idea in my mind what it would be like, but it surpassed that expectation. But it is kind of one of those things that you can kind of look at and pass through. I know that there's camping and other things that you can do there, but it can be a quick stop if you really want it to be. Rent a tank, only America. Hoover Dam was a little underwhelming, really, but it was something I've always wanted to see. There might be a spectacle. What does that mean? Las Vegas is Las Vegas. Some people love it. Some people can do without. I'm probably more of the latter. Here are the famous Bellagio fountains, which is worth stopping to see. Here's a funny, interesting stop, Eddie World. All kinds of snacks, like a warehouse full of different snacks. Here we're making our way to Los Angeles, but stopping through Palm Springs first. Never seen such a big field of windmills before. Look at all those windmills, guys. The Joshua trees were really interesting. Never seen that as well. And they're really like cactus trees, kind of. And you know, Santa Monica is very vibrant. The weather in Southern California is always beautiful. And all the beach towns have kind of a vibrant community feel, but all very unique at the same time. Here's some skimboarders practicing for a big competition that was about to happen. And of course, being from Canada, we don't either have Shake Shack or In-N-Out, so that was fun. San Diego's kind of cool. It's crazy how close these seals get. Coronado Beach is highly recommended. Beautiful out there. And famously where they filmed the Top Gun volleyball scene. Los Angeles, the food scene is almost second to none. A lot of fun, good food. Here we start going north instead of going east. Kern River oil field is one of the biggest oil fields in North America, I think. It's kind of interesting seeing these pumps. I've never seen them in real life. Orange groves, and then Sequoia National Park. This was beautiful. The size of these trees are breathtaking.
Sorry, don't think that's the case. I think
Then immediately drove north to Yosemite Park. If I lived in this area, I would definitely take advantage of this incredible park. The weather's perfect, hardly any bugs. There's camping, but there's also very nice hotels in the park.
It's the NCMA Sprint Car Series. It is going to
Seeing someone on horseback is always novel for me, being a city guy. And here we are making our way to Lake Tahoe, which was beautiful. Looking down the valley was breathtaking. Beautiful. We found this little interesting town, Virginia City in Nevada. They try to keep it Old Town Western looking, but it's really a bunch of souvenir shops. And if you're going to Yellowstone, you can kind of bypass Virginia City. Still can't get over that fast speed limit. This was great to see, the Bonneville Salt Flats. Salt for as far as you can see in every direction. Something I've always heard of when I was growing up as a kid, with the speed world records being broken and stuff, so it was kind of cool to see that. I'll tell you one thing, if you can avoid driving at night, try to. Salt Lake City was nice, it was a little underwhelming. It wasn't what I was expecting. I almost thought it was a little ski town, but it's just another city.
Hi guys, hello everyone. Idaho, state line, and Wyoming.
And finally Wyoming. I don't know if it's because of the TV show, but I really wanted to go to Yellowstone.
among the fastest too.
And Jackson Hole is a ski resort I've always wanted to visit, being a skier. Unfortunately, this is not the season, but it was great to see. The town of Jackson was a big surprise. It was very fun, lively, and a nice little town.
Look at that stagecoach.
I highly recommend visiting it. They had these little cowboy shootouts, I think, on the weekend. The Teton Mountain Range is crazy, so majestic. This is the Old Faithful Inn right beside the Old Faithful geyser. It's pretty incredible. The whole thing is made out of logs, and it's massive inside. I think it's been there for a century. A lot of wildlife, buffalo, or I mean bison, moose, all kinds of wild animals.
Wilderness.
And now we start making our way back through the prairie lands. This is kind of cool. 307 First is a group trying to preserve Wyoming way of life. They erected those sculptures. This is one of the craziest sunsets. The whole sky turned blood red. It was incredible. This is kind of crazy. This highway is 80 miles per hour, and these deer in the middle of the night, they just hang out at the edge of the highway, so you're just passing by them at full speed, which is kind of scary. Mount Rushmore is somewhere I've always wanted to visit.
You want to do a selfie?
That was kind of a cool stop. And Badlands was kind of crazy too, the geographic formations. This is just the last push back.
This is from a couple of hours. Crazy.
Gonna need a good car wash at the end. Chi-town. Last fill up. And then the push back home over the border. 30 days later, every day was a driving day. It was tiring, but it was such a great adventure and experience. If anything, it made me realize that I can do these long trips. Have a good weekend, everyone.